Here in the States, we haven't seen much from Mega Construx's Masters of the Universe line outside the last wave of micro action figures that they put out. According to what was presented at Toy Fair, there should be a lot coming down the road towards the end of the year, closer to the holidays. I, for one, already have my Battle Cat vs. Roton set on pre-order. To hold us over until the end of year sets come out, though, we were given a 2-pack of figures that consists of, truthfully, 2 figures we've already received various versions of. Are they worth it? Well, that's what we're going to find out. Hi everyone, I'm Mac, and this is Mega Construx Masters of the Universe 2-pack, He-Man vs. Beast-Man.
By the power of Grayskull!
Okay, we're not going to do a real in-depth review of this 2-pack because I really feel like that with all the He-Men and the Beast-Men that we've gotten up to this point, we've taken a good look at He-Man and Beast-Man and who and what they are and what their figures are like. However, I did want to take a look at this 2-pack to see if this was just a cash grab. And don't get me wrong, this obviously is still just a cash grab on Mega Construx's part, getting us between the last sets that were released, which truthfully, sets for Masters of the Universe, I don't think we've actually had a set, like a build of anything other than, or since, last year's 2019 SDCC exclusive Battle Bones. Up until now, it has just been figure packs, and it is going to continue to be figure packs until the end of this year, when Roton and Point Dread and the Battle Ram and the things that we saw at Toy Fair start to come out. So we have this 2-pack here that is He-Man and Beast-Man, and yes, we have received both of these characters in abundance over the past year or so. But what makes these two different? We're going to take a look at that. And before we open this pack up, one thing that I did want to point out is this up here, which this is very cool, that we have this little blister up here that has some weapons in it. I mean, we have He-Man's shield, we have He-Man's axe, but I don't know if you can see, on the camera right now, there are other things in there other than that, other weapon accessories, plus we have a different colored whip for Beast-Man here. And that to me is a callback to the 1980s vintage line, where we would occasionally get figures like Man-E-Faces is the one that pops up in my mind most of all. But we would occasionally get figures that came with a weapons assortment inside the packaging, so that you got the figure plus you got a little bit more. So, what did we get with this? What did we get with He-Man vs. Beast-Man 2-pack? Well, we're going to open this up and we're going to take a look. Also, one other thing I want to talk about, they do have a cross-sell on the back here, which has the entire line of the previous figures that came out earlier this year. But this is what I mean, as far as a build goes, it still has the Wind Raider, which was the first thing that we got, the first build that we got. So far as I can think of, we've just had the Wind Raider, Grayskull, and Battle Bones. We really need more building sets. So let's get this open and take a look at these two, and we'll see what's different and what's the same. Okay, so here we have them, Beast-Man and He-Man, and right off the bat, the first thing that you can see is that the paint app on both of these figures is different from what we have received before. It's different from any He-Man we've received, it's different from any Beast-Man we've received. The most noticeable difference, the most obvious difference, is He-Man's power suit right here. You can see it's a very dark, very metallic looking gray, rather than the light gray or silver that we would get in previous figures. Now, one thing that I do want to point out right away is that I didn't notice this when I bought it in the pack, but mine is a little deformed, which is unfortunate. You can see that this strap comes up here, and you can see that it kind of got reshaped in packaging to underneath here. Now, I think if I put this in and I melt it a little, I'll be able to reshape it without jacking it up. Because, I mean, all of the material is there. I just need to loosen it, melt it, and get it to come back down to normal. So that actually should be an easy fix. Now, the other thing that you'll notice right off the bat is that He-Man is much brighter than what we've received. He has a brighter skin tone. His belt and bracers, his gauntlets, his bracelets are a much brighter yellow in color, almost to the point, not almost to the point, they are actually matching the very bright yellow of his hairpiece. And I am not entirely sure what they were going for with this. I don't know if they were trying to mimic the original 5-inch figure, and the reason I say that we'll talk about just in one moment, or if they were trying to mimic the Filmation look of He-Man. I'm not sure. What I do know is that Beastman, over here on the left, this color scheme is probably the closest that we've received to the actual 5.5-inch figure color scheme. We have a Beastman from the Battle for Eternia Collector's Pack, whose orange fur is a much lighter, brighter shade of orange, and his armor is a darker crimson. He more represents the Alcala, what happened later, not the Alcala, I'm sorry. He more represents what happened later in the mini-comics, and to a point what happened in the Filmation. We also received the all-red Beastman from Castle Grayskull, that was the Alcala look, the early first 4 issues of the mini-comic. Beastman was all red fur, all red armor. But this guy, with this shade of orange, this color red, even the face painting, looks more like the original vintage 5-inch figure than what we've ever received before. And that's kind of cool. But why did it take us this long? Why did it take us 3 micro figures? And I guess my big issue with this, and I think I've said this before in previous reviews, we keep getting the same guys over and over again. Between all the different variants of He-Man, including Prince Adam, and 2 fakers, and another He-Man coming out with Battle Cat vs. Roton, which I do have on pre-order. It's the only one I've been able to pre-order so far. And all of the 3 Beastmen and 2 Mossmen. We have received so many, and 2 Stratos, by the way, because even though the head sculpt may be different, Stratos uses the same body style as Beastman. We have received these figures so many different times that, come on guys, come on. If you were going to come out with the first 2-pack, it should have been 2 figures that we don't have yet. Trapjaw would have been cool, especially since you added in the pack-ins for all of the weapons and the accessories that we're going to be taking a look at in a minute. Trapjaw would have been cool. Buzz-Off would have been cool. Like, there's so many. Ram Man you could have done. He's simple. Like, there's so many different figures to choose from the vintage line that they need to stop focusing on just these 2. And I get it, they weren't sure if the line was going to take off. I mean, just look at how many different Skeletors we have in addition, how many different Man-at-Arms, Teelas. I get it, they weren't sure if the line was going to take off, so they wanted to play it safe, and they gave us variants of the same figures because it would gauge our interest, and it would be easy on their production costs. I will say this, that having another Beastman isn't terrible, because if you follow pretty much any continuity, as I said in my original review of the first Beastman figure, his name is Beastman, but he's one of the Beastmen. There are numerous ones of his race. In a couple of DC comics, they even attacked Stratos' kingdom. So this is a guy that you can actually use for army building. You can take all of the Beastmen figures that you have, you can outfit them differently, and you can start to actually make like an army of Beastmen, a Beastmen army. That would be the fodder, the cannon fodder basically for Skeletor's side. What you could do with the heroic side, I don't know. Army build Stratos, Man-at-Arms, use them as the gate guards, I don't know. But I don't mind army building Beastmen. Now let's take a look at the accessories here of what comes with the pack, because these are kind of special, these are kind of cool. As you can see from the picture right now, even the stands He-Man has the standard sand green style stand in the new style. It's coming out with his name printed across the front. Beastman, however, Beastman's is a completely different color stand. Purple has his name printed across the front, and this would actually be cool if we're going to start getting the heroic warriors with the Grayskull style sand green, and the Beastman style, or the Beastman, and the evil warriors with this purple. That could either be a nod to Skeletor's coloration, or maybe Snake Mountain is coming out down the line. Snake Mountain was a very similar color to this. That would be cool, so that you had the heroics with Grayskull green, and the evil warriors with Snake Mountain purple. That's... Don't tease us. Don't tease us, Mega Construx. Don't do that. That's evil. Now, if you take a look at the weapons that we have here, you can see, first of all, we have a different color whip for Beastman. We have this red coloring right here. And previous up to this point, the whips were always black. So we do have a different color whip, which makes it a little bit different in addition to having the different coloration of the microfigure. Now, what I really like, though, are the rest of these weapons. That first of all, let's take a look at this. This is a mold. This came with Castle Grayskull. This is also Scareglow's scythe. And up until this point, this has been a solid color piece. Now, they've given it some detail that they've colored the majority of the weapon, and they've made the blade of the scythe silver, and unfortunately I just noticed that mine has a little scuff right there, but when it's not held up to the camera, you're not going to be able to see that. It still looks really cool in the figure's hands. So I like that. I like that we've gotten some detail work on this sword, or on this scythe, but the sword, however, is also cool, because we received two of these, at least two of these, with Castle Grayskull. And they weren't painted. They were just all a bland gray silver, or not even silver, they were just grayed. This one, however, has the black hilt, silver blade. This has more detail work done. This is very cool. I would love if we started getting the standard weapons like this. If Mega Construx started upping the production value of their accessory weapons, and we started getting them like this instead of the single color that we've been getting. And I get that the single color is a throwback to the 80s vintage line when accessories would come out and they were just all one solid color. But that was the 80s. This is 2020. Come on, guys. Give us more stuff like this. This is awesome. And then also we have He-Man's battle axe and sword that you can see, even though at first glance it may not look like there's anything different, especially in the sword. You can see how this has the standard gray coloring, but then the blade is silver, and the axe is the same way, that the handle and even parts of the axe head are the matte gray with silvering in the blades. These two accessories are really, really cool. Like, I don't think I've liked an axe that they've put out as much as this one, other than the bronze axe set that I believe came with Battle Bones. Because that set just looks cool, it looks metallic, it stands out. And now these ones do as well, especially this power sword. This power sword is really cool. And this two-tone, this subtle two-tone with the matte gray and the silver blade. That's really cool. The shield pops a little bit more. I think you can see a little bit of silver like in the face right here. But the shield for the most part is the standard shield. But I mean, what else are you going to get? This is just really interesting. So there we have it, the He-Man versus Beastman 2-pack. Do I think it's worth it? I can't remember how much I paid for it. I believe it might have been like 12 bucks, I think. Maybe 10. I'm not sure what the original price was because, amazingly enough, even though they just hit the shelves a couple weeks ago, they are already on clearance at my Walmart anyway for $5. And there was only one pack left when I picked them up. They just came out a few weeks ago. Walmart has them pegged at clearance already because they came out, I guess, at the end of the toy season. Walmart got them out late, and now they're clearing shelf space for the new line coming for fall winter. So these things are on clearance, at least at my Walmart, but that's where I got them before. I believe you can also order them off of Amazon. Are they going to be for everybody? No, because I understand some people were tired of getting the same figures over and over again, but is there stuff in there for the collectors between having the new paint schemes for the micro action figures and the new, more bold look for the weapons? I think yes. Yes, there absolutely is. At $5 a pack, I may go back. There was one left. At $5 a pack, I may go back and buy another one simply for the weapons. Simply for having two versions of that silvered power sword that I can hang on the cross shield in Castle Grayskull. That's definitely possible. That's definitely a possibility. So, good luck trying to find them. I hope you do. That's what I have for you. I did want to get another Masters of the Universe video out because this is one of my more popular themes on the channel. Play well, everyone. Stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, thank you for watching.